Um, I got some YouTube confusion, and when I get off the YouTube, I'm gonna bring it more to home to this group, but I don't want to embarrass the group in front of YouTube. You've heard 3 people so far by webinar, 2 taped from a few weeks ago, 1 live. All of them upbeat, all of them passionate, all of them successful. They've ranged in age from 17 when he started till he's 18 now. He's long in the tooth now. He's 18 to 44. You've heard them all say that to follow what Mr. Peña says step by step. I already know you're not, just based on history. You can try to figure out, and this is for the YouTube too, because I'm going to get around to a question I got on YouTube that, like, I'm trying to confuse them. Yes, I did say yesterday that a kid that I've never met before, 26 years old, did $3 million last month in revenue, and that he started listening to me in 2012, just on YouTube. You didn't mishear that. I don't know if he's selling porn. I don't know what he's doing, but I know he's working with one of my Hall of Famers, because he approached one of my Hall of Famers. Somehow he got through, did facial recognition, and tracked him down like a fucking dog. And wants to know if he could help him, assist him. He's gone from living in his garage or something to living in a $5 million apartment in Manhattan, which isn't a big fucking deal. We got a lot better. But I know to the average meathead, that sounds like a big deal. I did say yesterday, under an alias name, that there was somebody in this room, a couple of guys, but one of which I trained before, that went from 4 million to 9 million to 18 million to 31 million. And yes, you did hear it right, YouTube. It wasn't, I'm not talking about rubles, shekels, dollars is what I was talking about. And that's not unusual either. What is unusual is for somebody to follow the steps 100%, just for all the reasons that I've said ad nauseum, for the first 4 days and till I'm blue in the fucking face for 23 years now. And we're not going to go to all the psychological reasons why. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. I've said, definitively, the people, the former Olympians and world record holders, and that I've had the privilege of working with, find the focus part easy, not easy, easier, because they've learned commitment, focus. I got to get up at 3:30 in the morning. I got to swim 9 miles, whatever they had to do, right? So we've talked about combat veterans. Dodging bullets is easier than this. You had one guy yesterday say that. I'm a combat vet Marine, and that was easier than this. You heard all that. And I'm not telling you, you're already here, you already paid. I'm not telling you, but my story hasn't changed, and well, I didn't think it was so important 15 years ago because I underestimated. Never underestimate how wrong you can be, but I underestimated. I mean, one of the kids here that came to the seminar 4 years ago, he knows how much fallout there's been with other people because he knows a lot of them. Yet, I say slightly tongue-in-cheek, the YouTubers, they still think I make up the shit, that I pay the people, and I don't think they even believe that you're for real. I think that they think it's like central casting, that I went and hired Shylock from Mayfair, and some fat lawyer from that you are not real people. This is just a lot of shit. Because then it's easier for them to justify them being losers. It's easier for them to justify being losers. But again, you're here and they're there. And they'll say, well, I can't get the money. Some of you couldn't get the money, but you're still fucking here. Somehow. Every time I look at your name, Yasser, like Yasser Arafat, is that the same spelling?
No.
God, every time I see that, I'm thinking of Yasser Arafat. Anyway, I mean, I got to knock that out of my head. Anyway, okay. When we were talking yesterday, I kept thinking, I kept drifting Yasser Arafat back and forth. And that's why I asked you what your name came from and all that. Anyway, I'm getting off line here. Yeah. Guys and the YouTube kids, I mean, this cup of tea is not for fucking everybody. It just isn't. One, you got to really want it. Two, you got to really be able to stay focused, committed, and give up a lot of shit in your lives that would seem normal. We had some kid from Australia who said that he didn't think that my work-life balance analogy, it may be the rest of the world like that, but not in Australia. Not in Australia. We're kicked back on the Barbie guys. And that's why you're losers! Okay. I can't make it any plainer. And other people have said that, this isn't, that may work in Bulgaria, that may work in Columbia, South Carolina, and it may work in Colombia, South America. But that's not how we get shit done here. No, what he meant to say, or she meant to say, that's not how we don't accomplish stuff. We have our own methodology of being half-assed people that are trying not to be all they can be. And it's as a couple of my Irish partners would say, it's pathetic. It's pathetic to continue to hear. We continue to get a lot of positive response from my email about the kids in Harlem. We got 2 or 3 others now that think that I've got some hidden agenda by talking to the kids in Harlem. I've asked them, tell me what the hidden agenda is. I'd like to know. Maybe it is a subconscious agenda I've got. Just tell me what it is, and maybe I can tell them on YouTube. But guys, we have 2 more days, and as you can see, we started the beef actually yesterday, but now many of the questions that you asked me already that I've answered, so we're going to flip through slides that I already answered because you asked me ahead. It's like you can't wait. I told you it's like sex. It all comes at the end. Now I'm here to believe, contrary to what I thought, I normally use sexual and sporting metaphors because I know most kids do sports, right, when they're little. And I had given you the benefit of the doubt that some of you get fucked. But I now believe maybe I was wrong about that. And you don't understand the sexual metaphors because you haven't had a piece ass in 10 years. Maybe. It comes at the end. It comes at the end. It kind of explodes. That's as graphic as I'm going to get. It explodes. For those of you that can still explode it. Okay? I doubt some of you ever exploded it, but that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing. Because the British, that's not considered, it's not considered right. Any questions? Steve Jobs last night. Is that the movie that I know a bunch of you walked out and didn't watch it? And that's, you can't follow instructions. Just typical. And I know who did. That's what I went back to check this morning. Okay, you're already smarter. See, you haven't even left and you're smarter than me. You haven't even left. You don't have a fucking pot to piss in. You don't have 2 fucking dirty shekels to rub together. What's the takeaway on Steve, for those of you that watched it? Yeah.
he was an absolute arsehole, but he...
Amen, brother.
But he's considered a legend in
Yes, he was one of the biggest pricks that ever walked the fucking face of the earth. And all you cunt kids revere him. Thank you. Anything else?
He didn't have a very good father-daughter relationship.
You're being kind. You're being British now. Yeah. He abandoned the kid, but he was a visionary. Well, Napoleon Hill, Henry Ford, and not everyone of the whole line of them, but almost everyone fits into the same category. Success does leave clues. To be that focused, it's hard not to be an asshole. I'm guilty of it myself, okay? Although I'm a kinder, gentler guy at almost 71, but I was a rough, tumble motherfucker in my 30s and 40s and early 50s. I mean, I was tough to live with. But I was always gone, so you didn't have, it wasn't that much to worry about because I was almost always gone, and that's true. What else about Steve? Yes, sir.
He demanded high performers around him and he burned the bridges behind him.
Correct. He would not tolerate anything but high performance. You either performed at his expectations, which weren't their expectations, or you were out. He was trying to throw poor Waz out at who he started with, up until the IPO. Is there another question?
He let his emotion get in the way. Failure wasn't an option. He always moved to the next big thing. He was laser beam focused.
Correct. He didn't let his options. These are not characteristics of the Father of the Year, Alfred. These are not characteristics. And these are characteristics that I'm sure your mothers would not want you to have. Okay, so it's your choice. And I'm not slagging off mums, but they're easy to slag off. But I'm not going to slag off mums, but it's your choice. And if you don't like what I say on YouTube, please don't listen to me. Go fuck yourselves. Do us both a fucking favor and don't waste your energy on writing negative shit. Although most of it is positive. But because this is a cup of tea, and that's why virtually everybody else that's in what you call personal development, which I'm not, success, which I am, high performance, which I think I'm the only one, they don't tell you all that stuff, and I'm the only one to tell you. Because kids on YouTube, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I don't give a fuck. I give it all away free. Now, I want them to figure out a way why me giving everything away free is a trick fuck. Please tell me. I am interested in that. So you YouTube cunts, tell me how me giving everything away free and everybody else selling this shit, which ain't worth a nickel, how I'm trick fucking you. I am interested in reading that, and I will read it on YouTube. What else about Steve?
He's adaptable.
Correct. He's like a chameleon. You want a red dress, you stand under a red light. You want a green dress, stand under a green light. Oh, yes, sir.
He doesn't want to be loved versus Bosniak.
Yep, he doesn't want to be loved. Whereas the Waz wants to be loved.
Yeah, he actually said he's indifferent to being liked in movies.
Well, I can relate to that. Love is our problems. Relatives are problems. And kids, I love you. I do love you, my children. Kids are fucking problems. And for anybody that's raised kids through puberty into adulthood that doesn't say they're problems, something's wrong with you. Or you're in a coma or on drugs. I've had parents here go, I don't even remember the 70s or 80s. I was drug induced. The kids didn't really give me that much of a problem because they were always loaded. Some of you have had loaded parents, which I'm not going to point you out. YouTube, we'll see you after lunch.